Hello, my lovely friends. It's Tuesday yet again, and I am bringing a layout to you that is a little bit of a throwback. I did try to use a cut file, and I didn't like it. So you're going to see me show you these cut out knife, fork, and spoon from an old paper that I decided it wasn't going to work. And so I'm going to try to put this together briefly and then pull it apart and start over. But I left this in because, sometimes you just have to go a different direction, and it's okay to start over without completely ditching everything. I was just kind of going through which background paper I wanted to use, and I pulled a couple of photos that I was thinking of scrapping. One was going to be about my vegan recipe book, and then the other was about how Bab eats, kind of a comparison of the two. But I just decided to use the one that is a picture of the Vegan Comfort Classics recipe book, and they have some amazing recipes in that book. I'm not a big fan of breads and pastas and processed flour type items. So I struggled a little bit with that, but I made modifications, and I tried veganism for a solid 3 months. I mean, nothing, no cheating, nothing, just veganism. And it was interesting when we went out, the feedback that I got from restaurants or wait staff, or like when I would talk to people about it. And this was kind of before people were going, well, like right now, I mean, this was like 2 years ago. So right now it's very popular to be on the vegan kick. But I think it was just starting to emerge back when I thought I would give it a go. And, I put my body through so many experiments just because I'm a nutrition and health and fitness fanatic. And so this is par for the course for somebody like me. I'm my greatest lab. So here you can see I backed some of these photos with a variety of papers. I really only used some scraps and a couple of papers that were full size, and like a couple of pieces of ephemera and puffy stickers. It's just, I got a lot on the page with just a couple of items. And you can see I'm popping up this fork and this knife. And I didn't realize, it's such a light color, I didn't realize that I was putting on the knife, I was putting the double-sided tape on the wrong side. So that bothered me because the print on it is so light you couldn't even tell. But I'm going to stick it down, and then I'm going to sleep on it, and then it's going to drive me crazy, and I'm going to revisit it the next morning, and I'm going to pull that fork, knife, and spoon off, as well as that photo of Bab's food. So as you can see, Bab likes very indulgent food. He is a burgers and fries and pizza and wings, and in that picture I had made him a breakfast that is full of sausage and gravy and biscuits and hash browns. He loves to eat all the wrong foods, and he's still young enough that it's not causing him health issues. But as a certified nutritionist, I am very aware that he's playing with fire, and I keep trying to feed him as healthy as he will allow me to. Sometimes he'll overeat just to slam down the healthy food and then be able to get the junk that he wants, which, makes him gain weight. And then I'm like, no, 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 no. So I try not to force it on him. I try not to eliminate things from his diet. I try to encourage and cook extra for him that I would feed myself. But since I eat really clean, it's kind of hard for him to be on board most of the time. And, you know, everybody has their wake up call at some point. Like, there's going to be some type of illness, or, you know, God forbid he gets sick with diabetes or whatever the case may be. But he's tried some intermittent fasting. That's helped get a little bit of the weight off. And now that we're in the middle of the quarantine and he's just kind of working from home, sitting at his desk, and then when he's not at his desk, he's kind of sleeping, and so he has put on a few pounds. I keep joking that you know, the freshman 15, and with my family, I call it the COVID-19, and I'm no different. I'm guilty. I've gained about 4 pounds in the past 5 weeks, 4 or 5 weeks. That I've now decided, oh my gosh, I've got to rein this in. And I have been working out and staying active, but not like I do when I have access to a gym. So, and my body requires a lot of physical activity and very clean eating, or else I gain like crazy because I have a bad thyroid. So, plus I have a bad gene pool, to be honest. So anyway, that's kind of off topic. You're probably not here to listen to all that, but anyway, you can see here that the little popping it up on the fork tines were driving me crazy too, because you could see the double-sided tape, and that just never laid flat properly where you couldn't, I mean, you could obviously see the double-sided tape. So I'm trying to fix it here. I didn't know I left so much of this in. This is pretty time consuming. I apologize, guys. Let's see if I can edit this down a little bit. Okay, so here you can see I pulled everything off. I decided on the one picture, and I am going to start adding ephemera. This is Maggie Holmes' carousel collection. She had a specialty paper that had a bunch of tickets that you could tear off. And I'm going to use some at the top and at the bottom of this photo. And truly, I just dug into a Citrus Twist ephemera pack and used a ton of it on this layout. I think the majority of ephemera, well, all of the ephemera other than those little torn tickets, is from that one Citrus Twist ephemera pack. So I've grabbed some tags here. Oh, you know what? I didn't use a cut file. There you go. No cut file here. I just realized that. Even when I went back the next morning and looked at it, I didn't even like the background paper, which is from Paige Evans. Turn the Page. It's the number 11 background paper. But once I pulled off that fork, knife, and spoon and the other picture, it worked perfectly with this photo. And I thought, wow, what a difference. I mean, I totally love it now, and I like the way it turned out, and I don't usually use that color for a background. So I would just encourage you to play around and explore different options when you're doing a layout that you're not necessarily liking how it's coming together. And that's exactly what happened during this process. And I have been enjoying using my tiny attacher again. I've got a lot of tags that I've been using, and I've got this one cotton twine and my little tiny attacher, and I've been utilizing a bunch of tags that have been in old ephemera and kits. So all of this, it says weekends are meant for playing, and there's one that says loving, and let's see, the other two tags don't say anything, but I'm going to add some puffy stickers on top of them, and those will also be from Citrus Twist. I am going to pop up a couple of the labels just so there's some dimension, And when I add my title with some Imagine That Chipboard Alpha stickers from Echo Park, which just came out. So this is all old product except for my title, and it's going to be something I just got brand new in a Hip Kit Club kit. And I think it was even March. I think it was the March kit of 2020. But everything else is from I would say 3 years ago. It has to be at least 3 years old, everything else. So what does that little label says? Oh, it says a good day. I'm going to pop that up too. And you can see my little sprigs of florals that were in that ephemera kit too. So originally I thought my title would be Recipe Fun, but I'm going to change that. I really don't like the word fun. It seems to be a little bit off size-wise, and it just doesn't make it onto the page. I tried, believe me. But I'm going to trade that out. I'm going to pull fun off, and then I'm going to put new recipes as my title. And it does nestle really nicely between those tickets and those tags. And I do have to glue it down for whatever reason. Even though these are brand new thickers, they did not, or brand new alpha chipboard, they did not want to stick to the paper. So I highly encourage gluing everything down unless you use a very strong adhesive. I usually use score tape because I don't want anything to move. And then the little items I will use Scotch Quick Dry out of my little fine liner bottle. I tell you what, I had the hardest time with going through fine liner bottles until somebody in the scrapbook community suggested adding just a little bit of water to the glue, and I've never had to buy another fine liner bottle. It was the cure. It works magically now, so I understand why Missy Widdens is so old, because mine's finally getting old. I was buying a new one probably every month until somebody suggested that, and it's been amazing. So I did pull some more little flowers from that same citrus twist ephemera and some of these little hearts, and I'm going to put them around the tags and around the page. I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to put that label. And they're so teeny tiny. I love little teeny tiny details. And so I think they add something special to the page. I have no idea where that little sticker, that epoxy sticker that says need is from, but it matched perfectly. And it was in my little bowl on my desk, so I was like, I finally have a use for it because the colors work great. And this is where I go into the puffy stickers from that same old citrus twist kit. And they didn't really have collections per se. It would just, they'd call their products exclusives to whatever came in their kits. I don't know if it's the same now, but so none of them have like collection names that I recall, and it's not on the packaging. So some of these little labels say, oh yeah, that's the yellow one I'm putting there. The blue one at the bottom says document it all. I'm going to add a little flower up at the top, and I'm still trying to figure out where I'm going to add that label, but it's going to go up at the top right there. I'm going to pop it up. And I'm also going to come in with some enamel dots from, I think it's Cocoa Vanilla, More Than Words collection. I've been incorporating that wherever I can too. I really love that collection. So I did not end up using that little airplane, paper airplane, but I do have a ton of those fussy cut out or from Paige Evans, and I end up using a couple on another layout, but I seem to have a ton of those little paper airplanes that I need to use. Maybe I'll do one about a trip. Maybe make it look like it's floating through the air in a spiral or something. I'll have to come up with an idea on how to use so many of those little paper airplanes that are popular. So I'm just tucking in these enamel dots around the page. I am going to grab some white acrylic paint and water it down. And off camera, I do add the date from 2018 on that pink tag that is below the picture and to the right. And that's my layout. So I hope you enjoyed it. I think it turned out really cute, even though it was kind of a disaster in the beginning. And I'm glad I got to share it with you today. I hope you're having a fantastic day. And I want to say stay safe and smile, because every day is a gift. And I thank you for watching. So I'll talk to you later. Ta-ta for now. Bye.